Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I don't think I muted myself there, so apologies if you heard me coughing. Welcome back to a brand new TAT pod. I am your host, Ben, and I'm joined once again by Mo. How are we, Mo? If you just want to unmute. How are you, mate? You good? I don't know if Mo's unmuted. Shigz, how are you, mate?
I am well, thank you. Like I said earlier, pleasantly surprised about the result yesterday. But yeah, happy that we were kind of making strides forward.
Yeah, no, all good, mate. Amazing result yesterday. We'll get into it in a minute. Mo, you've come off mute now. I don't know what was going on there. It wouldn't let me unmute you, mate. But how are you, bro?
Yeah, I've been good. I was like I said, like Shigz said, I was satisfied with the result yesterday as well. Kind of saw it coming since when I said last week. I said a few days ago about how if we get that early goal and we're able to control the game, the game would go more smooth for us, and it did, thankfully.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. You've been spotted about a couple of things recently. We're going to get into them a bit later on. Let's get into some of the comments that are coming in. Dow saying, how are you, boys? How are we, mate? Big up to you. And Eunice, always in the streams. My guy, I watched some of the parts of Newcastle pods and they were proper salty. Listen, let them be, mate. Let them be.
We love to see it.
Beat him twice now, you know what I mean? Like, you just got to accept it sometimes. But that's as happy as I am. The real test is Tuesday. See if we're really back up the Reds, though. We'll get on to Tuesday. We'll close the podcast on Real Madrid, of course. We've got a lot of things to discuss today: the game, performances, Mo's top four charge, which he said we were gonna be on a couple podcasts ago, and I think a few people laughed at him. But listen, it looks like it's opening up. But we'll get on to that a bit later on. Let's talk about the game first of all. The team news. I mean, I think we all said we'd go unchanged pretty much, apart from Virgil coming in, and that's what Klopp did. So I don't know if he's watching us. I don't know if he's listening to our expert opinions, but that's what it seemed to do, and it did its job, didn't it?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
So go on, man. Go on, sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it did. I mean, he stuck with Nunes and it paid off. So clearly, that's why, that's why Klopp is the manager. But yeah, I'm just happy we got the early goal because you could see the first 15-10 minutes that Newcastle really wanted it. The way they started off the game, and like we all spoke about a few pods ago about how dangerous it is to concede turnovers to this Newcastle team simply because of how many good transition plays they've got in, say, Maximum and Trippier with pieces. And Isaac, he looked a bit dangerous, and Alisson had to bail us out. But the way we started the game and the way we played reminded me of how we used to play. And just okay, cool. We would weather these storms. We'd weather the opponent coming onto us. But because we have killers in the team, because we have the players who can switch on and we can kill and control the game instantly, and that's exactly what Newcastle did. On Monday we had the typical counter-attack transition Liverpool, and yesterday we had a normal recent Liverpool that we're used to seeing in terms of how we weathered the storm and killed the game off. So yeah,
absolutely. And Shigz, Mo just alluded to it there. Wasn't an easy start, was it, mate? A certain Alisson Becker had to bail us out twice in the first 5 minutes. And if one of those chances goes in, mate, it's a different story, isn't it?
For me, and this is no shade on the team, but he has to get player of the season for this season for me. Like, without him, even though we're not where we want to be, without him it could be a lot worse. Not just for yesterday's game, just in the season in general. The amount of times that guy has bailed us out, I know that's his job, but still, to be called on that many times and to be proven to be such a wall, invaluable to our team, invaluable. But as Mo was saying, in terms of the first 15 minutes, I expected them to come out out to us, and I was just hoping that everybody was switched on and played and kept their composure, and which they did, I gotta say. And one thing I liked that I saw was, and you lot can correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like maybe last season there was a bit of arrogance beginning to creep into our defending. Normally, like if there was an opportunity to rather than get the ball out, they would try and play a cute pass or try to be smart with it. Yesterday was none of that. Van Dijk, there was a ball over the top that St. Maximin was trying to run onto, and instead of Van Dijk just passing it back, he just nodded it out, and I was like, yes, that's like I get it. Like we're not in just get back to the what we know to do, defend. And even though they did have a few chances, they were few and far between after the 15-minute mark, because I felt like after that we just kind of controlled the game, not controlled it, but were more like how we've been in the past. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Definitely, mate. That says, Ben, how are we carved after the multiple flights of stairs? Listen, that stadium is no joke. To get to the top. Oh my word! Like, I feel like I got Shakiri calves right now. Like, that's how I feel. But honestly, yeah, no, it was very strange place for an away end, to be fair. And to be honest, I didn't really think the stadium's as good as people make out. But there we go. That's just my opinion. But yeah, no, it was great. Obviously, I've been to a few away days now in the season. I've been to a couple where, well, the Brighton one was obviously the worst one, and yesterday was the best one. So I've had a bit of a mix, but yeah, my personal experience, obviously, everything that happened that you guys saw was the other end. Unfortunately, in the second half, we didn't get to see anything. Yeah, so we basically all I seen for the first goal was Trent's ball over the top, and I had no idea if Nunes was onside, offside, if it had hit his hand or not. Obviously, I've watched it back, and there's absolutely no chance it's hit his hand. He's beautifully hit his chest, and some people say, "Oh, he's took a bad touch and he's got a bit of luck." Even if he has, like, it doesn't matter.
Scored, man.
Yeah, exactly. And the finish is just. I've seen some comparisons with him and a certain Spanish striker with that finish, and I'm not going to get into those comparisons because there's a long way for him to go.
Easy.
But we did speak about Nunes in the preview, and Mo, I'm going to come to you, mate, because someone's coming for you straight off the bat. Jamie, I think this is my mate Jamie. If it is, big up you, mate. Mo, thoughts on Nunes starting? You wanted to change him for Jota in the preview. People still sleep on Nunes. He's so good, always has been. Patience is a virtue. What do you say to your critics, mate?
Yeah, just quickly, before you go, as soon as Nunes scored, I was thinking, now I wonder what Mo was thinking.
For me, in the moment when he scored, of course, I was absolutely delighted, of course, because the Newcastle. So in the moment, it's sheer euphoria. But I kind of realized, like, I'm gonna get some criticism for this afterwards. But
that's your opinion, bro. You're allowed to have your opinion. You're allowed to have your opinion. It is,
of course. But fair enough. It was a very well taken goal. It was the kind of goal that I think we touched on about Nunes before in terms of those decisions in split seconds. The how do I say the instinctive kind of finishes where it just comes to me, he just does it straight away. Those are the kind of finishes that, in my opinion, Nunes is so good at. In terms of, we saw it against Wolves in the FA Cup at home where he just lashed onto it. The kind of goals where he has no time to think, he just does what comes naturally to him. And exactly, and I remember those. I think it was against West Ham also where he nearly volleyed it off and he went to the straight also, something like that. Those kind of half chances where he's so good at. Those are the kind of moments and situations that I feel like Nunes is so comfortable in. It's the kind of finishes where, it's the kind of situations where he struggles in, are the ones where he has so much time on the ball. But those are things that, in my opinion, eventually will come to him. I was glad that he scored. It was a fantastic finish. I thought he had a decent game overall. And I was satisfied with his performance yesterday, I have to say. But also, just quickly, let me just finish. When Jota came on, he was dangerous also. I have to say,
he should have scored.
He could have got a hat trick.
He should have scored. He had the header, he had the 1-on-1. But I think those are, he had the 1-on-1 where he tried to go around the keeper, but I think those are just because of a lack of match fitness, a lack of
fitness.
And quickly on Jota, I think people forget also this guy's, he's been on and off injured since April, since for a very, very long time, 20 games without a goal, and that's why it's because he's never had a full 90 minutes in a long time. So I do feel for him a little bit. But Jota, Firmino, Salah, what a front three. I thought Firmino was okay, it wasn't excellent, but it just looks so much more natural. That's not a credit. That's not me trying to criticize Nunes, Gakpo, or Salah, but that front three of Jota, Firmino looked so good yesterday. But yeah, Nunes was excellent yesterday.
And Shigz, there's another part of the goal we've not spoken about, mate.
Yeah,
Mr.
talk about it.
Alexander-Arnold. Tell me
Talk
about the
about
skull, bro.
He just said to him, "Does he want gravy with it?" That's what he said. That's what he said to him. Like it was the thing about it is like when I was watching it, I was like, there was what was it? I think it was either Gakpo or Robbo was free on the back post. So I was like, switch it. And then when I saw the pass to Nick, I said, oh. The only thing I was worried about is that please be onside, and he was. So yeah, I think as well. Like I don't know if you saw, but you wouldn't have seen. You would have seen Ben, but there was the interview that Trent gave after the match, and he was just like, the team just feels like it's back to kind of. And I know I don't want to get into false dawns and stuff like that, but he just said when they're out there, it just felt more like how they've been playing before, like before they've had the dip. And also, again, I've got to give another shout out to this Stefan guy as well. Like he don't look out of place. So, like I know we've been talking about it for the last couple of games, but again, you wouldn't expect an 18-year-old to look as comfortable as. I know we'll get onto him later, but I just wanted to give him a special shout.
Listen,
yeah.
I'll say in the last stream, I don't want to get too carried away, but I think he's a new Sergio Busquets. There we go.
Yeah, someone said it on there.
Yeah, or Xabi Alonso. You take your pick. But Eunice makes a great point. The best English right back at fault for 2 goals. Didn't hear him peep from the commentary. It doesn't fit their agenda, mate. It's not as cool, and it doesn't get as many clicks to like criticize Kieran Trippier. If they did a piece on Kieran Trippier, a 5 or 10 minute video criticizing him, saying how no one's gonna watch that. Like not one person's gonna watch.
Get no clicks.
Exactly. And Trent, like people are so fast to criticize him. And I've seen he low key since the World Cup. He's been getting better and better. Even when he's not been assisting, I think he's been getting better and better. Even defensively, I think he's been good. St. Max gave the boys and a couple of their players gave them a tough time at times yesterday, but they held their own out there.
Stood up to it, though.
Exactly. And this is my big frustration with Trent. Everyone's so quick to criticize him and to dig him out and all of this stuff. But when he's good, you don't hear it. No one talks about it apart from us. So it's our job to do it. So we have to keep going with it. Yeah. Second goal, then it came relatively similar. And Shigz, I'm going to let you go because you're itching to talk about Stefan's turn.
Yeah, you know what I love about that goal? It's the way that Stefan just dropped the shoulder and left the guy. Like, lovely. And then the thing I like about it as well, that Gakpo got onto it, was the one that initiated it in terms of coming in from the left. And you got to give Salah, I've criticized Salah as well, but the ball he played to him, like, just, I can't even, lovely goal, 2-2 now. And even during the course of the game, I know we're talking about how it started and stuff like that, but I don't know if it was just me, but it just seemed like Cody just had a little bit more confidence in his touch, in his movement, just a little bit more assured. Or was that just me?
Mo, do you want to tell it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Gakpo overall looked so comfortable on yesterday, and I like we touched on before. It literally is just about them getting used to playing with each other, getting used to the little intangibles that each and each other do, getting used to the way they play, and then front three. Because like I said, because of the way we play, we rely on chemistry and knowing what the other person is gonna do, certain triggers, certain situations. And now because they're gelling with, we're seeing the full fruits of that. We're seeing Gakpo make the runs that he wasn't making before. Because perhaps before he was thinking, "Oh, will I be found?" But now he knows that awful movement in that front three is so key, and now he's getting used to that. Maybe out of the 10 movements he does, he might not be found for 5 or 6 of them. But he knows for at least one time, one run that I do, I'm going to be found. And like I said, with the Salah did it. Perhaps Salah didn't even see exactly where Gakpo was going, but he just put in an area knowing that someone arrived there. Gakpo arrived there. Yeah. And that's what I'll give credit to Nunes. So that's what Nunes has been doing from the beginning. And this is that, I don't know, perhaps instruction on the manager, maybe it was easy because he started from the beginning of the season, he had a full preseason as well. So Nunes, no, but because Gakpo was coming, remember Gakpo came straight into the team. It took him time to gel a little bit, get used to the way we play. And now that he has, we're seeing the full fruits of it. He's been excellent.
Yeah, definitely.
Spot on. And of course, Willie has made a great point. We must pay our respects to Christian Atsu and all his family, and I think his wife and his children were there yesterday, and it was a really sad moment at the beginning of the game, and you could sense it in the ground, to be fair, that there was something a bit off, and obviously it's devastating over what's happening over there, and to hear that news that he passed away, I mean, anybody, there's hundreds of people, but when it's somebody that you've watched in the Premier League at numerous clubs, it's just like,
different.
whoa, like this can happen to anybody. And also, I will quickly just mention our friends at Born and Red doing an incredible job raising money and getting stuff out there. I think Sir Jord is actually out there right now, getting stuff out to people that need it. So, yeah, hopefully everybody there, if they've lost a loved one or whatever the situation they're going through, they can find peace with time. And it's a really sad moment. But yeah, for me, just going back to Gakpo real quick, I feel like it's not rocket science, lads, is it? I mean, we're all sensible people on here. We, when Liverpool make a signing, we think as sensible football fans, let's give them a bit of time. It's a shame that not many other people on social media think that way. We bring a player in mid-season from a completely different league in a time where Liverpool aren't functioning as a team. And now, he's not scored in 5 games. Like, come on, man, what are we doing? And you know what? Even when he wasn't scoring the goals, I was, I did want to see a little bit more from him, but I could still see little bits and pieces of him that made me think like, okay, he looks like a good player. Same with Nunes. When Nunes wasn't scoring goals, same thing. It's just about time, and he's got a bit of familiarity now. I think Mo's been going on about chemistry with Nunes and Salah. It's just a shame. It looks like Nunes might be injured now for Tuesday. I think the rumors are. We'll get onto that in a bit, but yeah, I mean, we've got the option now with Jota, so he could be okay. But Mo, I don't know if you've spoken about the goal, mate. But I said it was our goal of the season. I watched it back this morning, and I've not seen us play that way for a very long time, mate. That fluidity and the tempo and the vision from Salah to Gakpo. Would you agree with that? Do you think it's the goal of the season, or at least up there with goal of the season for us?
I don't want to rush and say it's the goal of the season straight away, but it was definitely one of our best games to go. Yeah, and also I feel like I don't know. For some reason the sheer joy and like the of the Nunes goal for me, just like, even though it was the same game, it gave me a bit more. But just because something about Nunes scoring, I see a lot of people talking about on Twitter, the way when Nunes scores, it hits different. And to be fair, that I can see why people say they celebrate. Yeah. So yeah,
Really?
yeah. I think the account the Anfield Talking How posted where he realized when the fans were chanting his name, he just looked up and appreciated it. Yeah. So but yeah, in terms of the build up, that was, like I said, that was classic Liverpool. The way we played, coming out from the back, you saw Stefan and his little turnover, and then just little and little combination plays, the little triangles operating in the pitch, the right hand side, Salah coming inside where he's so good, Trent overlapping, and Salah making a decisive pass to find Gakpo. These are the patterns. Like, all the goals we have scored in the last 3 days are goals that we are so used to seeing, but we haven't seen it in last year because the rest of the team has been collapsing. But like I said, like the goals we scored against Everton, the goals we scored today, all very different goals, but goals that the kind of attacking patterns, the kind of little moves, etc., are goals that we should be scoring, the goals that we're capable of scoring simply because the way we play. So yeah, I thought like I said, I'm so happy Klopp stuck with this in midfield, and I'm particularly happy about is that the fact that 2 very, very big games, Everton and Newcastle, we've won, and we won them convincingly, in my opinion, heading into a game. Exactly, two clean sheets. Klopp spoke about our first clean sheet away since April 8 last season, which is incredible. But 2 big games, like 2 very big games, like the Merseyside derby and away at Newcastle, that we've won convincingly, coming into a massive game on Tuesday. That, like, I can't overstate how important the confidence we get from that, because perhaps if it was a 3 p.m. kickoff at home to, I don't know, Bournemouth or something like that, it wouldn't feel the same. But because these 2 games have come so close to each other, and they're massive game in their own respective rights, I feel like it was so important for us to get the win, and I'm happy we did.
Spot on, mate. Spot on. Big up Kevin says, look, I'll give you some context behind this. I'll put in our group chat. I'm not being overreactionary, but these guys are going to be the best front 3 in the world, and Listen, I stand by it. You know, you saw what the Norwegian Darwin Núñez was up to yesterday, missing sitters.
Easy.
Listen, that's what I'll call him now, the Norwegian Darwin Núñez. So I stand by it. Exactly, mate. Listen, if Darwin Núñez misses those chances, bro, those clips are getting millions of views, man.
He's getting memed up.
Yeah, Shigz, let's go on to the main event of what happened in that first half. Nick Pope thinking he was playing handball. Like, you know what was mad about this as well, mate? What's it? Eddie Howe said that it was harsh.
Yeah, man, it's not harsh.
What are you on about?
It's only harsh because he's missing the United game. That's why it's harsh.
I don't care. A rule's a rule, bro. If you know that the rule is the rule, like if you get a red card, you miss the next game. But it speaks to a bigger thing, though. Like, as soon as that happened, the ball came. As soon as Alisson made that pass, I said, "Where's Salah? Where is he?" Because he's looking to score. And the reason I bring that up is because Pope knew that's fear. That fear makes people do things that they're not supposed to do, and he knew. Anyhow, Salah gets onto that ball, it's 3-0.
Already had the first. Like kind of example of it in the first half. It was the other Núñez, and he just about got there, but it was very close. And then we've done it again, and he's for some reason thought he could outpace.
Sorry, mate. Them's the breaks, isn't it? Them's the breaks.
Yeah, and now,
have to watch it. But you know, have you seen what's going to happen now?
Don't.
No, but I'm not even. What do you call it? I'm not even.
Because that's what I said. We were speaking about this as soon as it happened, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'd rather.
No, but no. You know what? Let me say this.
Shigz, it's going to be 6-0, mate. It's going
to
be 6-0.
No.
6-0.
For me, look, listen. What's happened has happened. I would love for Newcastle to win, even if.
Of course, mate. If Karius wins the game, he's a hero. Like it's not going to happen. There's no chance. I hope that's
going to happen, but the way I see that our Rashford is moving today, that's a pipe dream. Them men are getting tucked in.
Mate, there is no chance they win with Karius in goal, man.
Tucked in.
He's not even been playing football. Like they're just going to stick him in. The guy's not even been playing.
Listen, it's the best way, man. It is what it is. But for Pope. Listen, bro, I get it. For me, because he missed it. Was it that he missed the header?
He went to head the ball. He went for a diving header for some unknown reason. Completely missed it, and then puts two hands on the ball, and we could see it from the stand. So it's like
you know those pinball machines where you see the arms come up like that.
Yeah. And they do it's just mad. Like if it's 0-0 or if you're winning, then I can kind of understand. But you're already 2-0 down. If anything, just let Salah go through, go 3-0 down, and you're still starting on Sunday. Like
it doesn't. For me, it doesn't matter what's like. You could be 1-0 up in the 90th minute. It doesn't matter for you to miss the cup final. Is absolutely a cup final that you work so hard to get to. 2 semi-legs against the country.
The first final since '99, I think.
That's nice for Newcastle, especially. Like insane. But Shigz touched there. It's in the moment. You're not thinking about cup final. You're thinking about how do I stop a goal? Salah's gonna score. You just think of that.
Yeah,
that's why.
I don't want to hear none of this. I don't want to hear none of this. Oh, he's a good guy. Listen, the rules are rule, bro.
Yeah, no, there's no way he's getting out of that. Not a chance. There's no chance he's getting away with it.
If they let him play, I swear.
No way. They won't. They can't. Mo, I want to ask you a question, mate, because for when they went down to 10, and I think this happens a lot with us. It's a bit of a trend I see.
Mentality.
It became harder to play and to get the chances. And why do you think that is, mate? Because this ain't the first time we've seen our opposition go down to 10 and then we struggle to kill them off.
I think the biggest example of this kind of scenario, if anyone remember the semi-final home leg against Arsenal, Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
Where Xhaka got a red card, where we were absolutely killing Arsenal. Xhaka got a red card, and then from then it was so horrible to watch. One of our worst games in that. It was horrible, exactly, but it's an issue that we continue to face like consistently in terms of the way when a team gets a red card and then they set up in this very very mid to low block. We struggle so much to play. We struggle so much to play against teams who play that with 11 men, but with 10 men it becomes harder because they get even more compact, even more narrow, and their minds becomes, or how do we just make sure there's no space for the opponent to play in? But yeah, it's a big issue. From the solution, I mean, I guess when Jota came on and Firmino came on, we
We still
started to
had
find more.
chances in the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's more to do because Newcastle gave up and they were more thinking about how do we
Yeah.
score. And so,
Bring the towel.
but imagine that red card came when it was still 0-0. I feel like this game is very, very different because
It would
I
have
don't
been
think
one
Newcastle
goal max.
exactly Newcastle. There's no way Newcastle would have given up as much space as they did when they were trying to find a goal to get back into the game. So yeah, it's an issue that continues to be even when we are at our best. A red card to an opponent is one of the worst things that can happen to us. Oh my god! It was last season also against Chelsea where Reece James got a red card and it was hideous to watch also again.
Yeah,
exactly,
second half we couldn't get nowhere near it.
Yeah, Shigz as well. Like I was speaking to my brother about this. You know, because we were 2-0 up at that point. Do you think there was a case of we've got the 2-0 lead, they're down to 10, we've got Madrid on Tuesday, maybe sort of ease off a bit, reserve a bit of energy instead of going full throttle when we don't really need to, kind of thing.
And it's human nature. Let's not try and make out these people are superhuman beings. They're great footballers, but at the back of your mind, you're kind of thinking, right, okay, we don't have to not press as hard, but we don't have to go as forceful because we're 2-0 up. And if they do come out, we've got the players to hit them on the break or hit them in the spaces. So in that particular sense, like Mo said, because we were already 2-0 up, it didn't really affect us as much as it would have if we was 0-0, which is a good thing. And to Mo's point again, getting the first goal opened up the game because then they had to come. We are the worst team to play unless you go one down because then you have to open up even more. So it's like we said, maybe in the summer, hopefully we can, because we haven't got a player, a midfielder that can kind of like knit a through ball through a number of people. Maybe Thiago can do it, but I can't really think of anybody else that can really do that. Maybe Carvalho, but we haven't really seen him do it in the Liverpool shirt. He used to do that for Fulham, but again,
Naby lad.
Yeah, but he can as well. He can, but he doesn't get the opportunity to play as much. But
he's got it. That's why. That's real.
But he can't. Unfortunately, his body hasn't been able to hold up to the rigors of the Premier League. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. But like Mo was saying, in terms of the 10 go down to 10 men, I don't know what it is because when they're putting in the crosses and stuff like that, we don't tend to flood the area, opposing area. So it's always 2 or 3 man against one. So there's always cover for somebody, or if they go past one or they go past 2, there's a third person and there's not enough support. So it's something that Klopp needs to work on and the backroom staff need to work on. But yeah, hopefully they address that in the summer in terms of getting midfielders that have different qualities to bring to the table, so that if that situation does arise, we do have somebody that can unlock the door, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And for the rest of that game as well, like Mo said, we had chances when Jota came on. We had chances. I think there was that one where Robertson, I wanted him to shoot, but he's played it across the box. Yeah. There was just chances and chances for the rest of that, like last 10, 15 minutes. But Newcastle also had some chances. Dan Burns hit the bar. Alisson's forced into that save with Callum Wilson. I've seen the comment. And look, if Wilson scores in that shot, where I think if that's anyone else in goal, Wilson probably does score.
Yeah.
Again, it all of a sudden becomes irrelevant that they're down to 10 because they'll be pushing for an equaliser and the game changes. And they were getting chances anyway, even with 10 men. So we are so lucky, and I need to speak on him more than we did at the beginning because I can't speak on him enough. There's no more words left in me to describe Alisson Becker. He is the best goalkeeper we've ever had. I can't disrespect the people I didn't see before me, such as Ray Clements and people like that. But from what I've seen in 25 years, there has been nobody better than Alisson Becker. And I said it to my mate the other day as well. We won't have a better goalkeeper than him in our lifetime. Not a chance. He is that good. Yeah, there is no way another. No, I'm sorry. He's in a bracket of his own. And like you said, Shigz, without him, like we've got a glimmer of hope for top 4 now. Without him, there's none. There's none. If he had an injury, touch wood, I'm touching that because I don't want that to happen. And Kelleher, as good as he is, he's not Alisson. If something happened and we had to use Kelleher for the rest of the season, we ain't getting top 4. But Alisson, we have a chance now.
Yeah.
And just,
Great.
I was gonna say, sorry, let me just say,
No,
quickly
go
on Alisson. Yeah, I was gonna just quickly on Alisson. Like the reason why we can say perhaps he's one of the best or in our best in lifetime with so much conviction is because often the goalkeepers here on the world, they often have an attribute that they excel in that makes them so good. Whereas with Alisson, honestly, I genuinely cannot see an attribute or one of the key attributes, let me say it like this, where he struggles in. So his distribution, elite distribution. He's one-on-one elite. Free kicks, elite. Long shot stopping from far range, elite. Claiming crosses, very good. Except to be fair, claiming crosses perhaps there and then, but majority of time either he gets fouled or he does it, or he claims the cross.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, for example, like other keepers around the world, like De Gea, for example, perhaps he's one-on-one, perhaps he's okay. His shot stopping is okay, but he lacks in so many other areas. You look at Edison. Edison is a below par shot stopper, but elite distribution of his feet. Very
player. Yeah.
Alisson has all these attributes, and not only is he just competent at that, he's very, very good at it. He's not an all-rounder. He's an elite keeper at every single aspect, and that's why we can say with so much conviction that this is one of the best goalkeepers we've ever seen, and the best goalkeeper definitely right now. So yeah, I'm very glad we're having him go. And also, just quickly, you touched on the chances we conceded at Wilson. I think one of the reasons why perhaps we can be so risky of our highline is that while
we have him in goal,
we have him in goal, and the two opportunities where perhaps our highline doesn't work, we know why we have Alisson goal. So it's a risk worth taking because you get so many added benefits with the highline. Because other teams play highline. I'm not going to say we're the only team that plays highline. Like United play highline, City play highline, but the way we play, because we squeeze team in their own half so much, and our midfielders are in certain areas, it makes the highline super, super risky. And to be fair to our team, 8 times out of 10, when we're playing good, it works. But of course, the odd opportunities, they get chances. But we're willing to allow that because we have Alisson goal. So therefore, I didn't really have a massive issue with Wilson getting that chance, because I know for a fact that the majority of the game we were defending the transition really well. But of course, the odd opportunities we're going to concede them. But we have Alisson goal, which is the most important thing. Yeah.
Do you know the maddest thing about? Do you remember when we piped Roma 5-2 and everyone was like, "Oh, this Alisson is not a good goalkeeper," and then we get him, and then it just it's like he let me put it to you like this. I not recently, but the seasons before, I would be surprised when the players scored against us. I got surprised. That's how good he was. That's how good he is. Like, I'm surprised when the striker scores again.
Since Alisson's come in overtime, I genuinely don't get as much fear as a 1v1 that we can see them before.
No.
Wilson, we don't get scared, and then when we can see, then we feel that feeling we're meant to feel when they go through and go. Well, Alisson is such a delayed reaction because he should save that. We just think he's gonna save it.
The expectation that we have of him now is so high. It's like, oh, come on, Alisson, man, you gotta save. You gotta do better, bro. And he's like, any normal keeper, we're like, he's never saving.
Yeah, no, it's true, and we can only hope that we have him for a long, long time. I don't know when his contract runs out. I think it's a very long one.
That's
we're gonna get his exactly. We're gonna get his prime years, and hopefully there's many more trophies to follow because he deserves to win them, and his performances. Not this season, we could still win one, but he deserves to win trophies because he is the best, and the best players deserve to win trophies. And we will get on into the Champions League in just a moment. But before that, there was a comment. Kev says, "Our Spurs." No, I'm not doing the Naby one. I'm not doing that today. You can just look at the lovely purple Naby shirt behind me instead. Are Spurs a bigger challenge for the top 4? And that's a good point, because since yesterday, the situation has changed slightly, because we were looking at Newcastle, but now we're 7 points off Tottenham, who are 4th.
We've got 2 games in hand
today. With 2 games in hand, and we still have Tottenham to play at home at Anfield. So as well as that, there was a comment underneath it just from Eunice. Yes, Kevin, because they've already played Arsenal and City twice. I'm not looking into that too much, to be honest with you, mate, because the other week they got absolutely battered by Leicester, and they've had games against those kind of teams where they've lost or drawn. they might be up for the big teams, and that's all well and good. But it is those Leicester games that I'm looking at, those kind of ones. And they lost to Villa as well, didn't they? 2-0, drew to Brentford. So they're gonna drop points. Like they are where they are because they've been inconsistent.
We just need to make sure we capitalize when we
exactly.
When
and I said in the I think it was the Everton podcast, if we beat Everton, which we did, and Newcastle, the run starts now. And I can only hope that it does, because we've got a chance now. We didn't have a chance. We were down and out. Mo said we're still in the race for top 4. He got laughed at for it. Mo, you were right. As we speak right now, obviously we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but looking at the league table right now, I'd say we have a pretty good chance.
Like I was speaking about before when I said we're definitely in the half of top 4. It's especially about this league depends on momentum. If you look at the last 3 league tables, there is nobody who got 4th and 3rd place by being consistent throughout the whole season. Everybody who got 4th place in the last 3 years is because they weren't particularly good in the beginning, and what they did the last 15, 14, maybe even 10 games, as we proved in 2021, they clutched up, and that's exactly what we've got to do. I looked at last season with Spurs when they got 4th place. Spurs last season, do you remember they started with Nuno, they lost 3 games on a bounce. They weren't particularly consistent with Conte, and then they got top 4. The season before, it was us, Chelsea and Liverpool fighting out for 3rd and 4th. None of us, Chelsea were horrible for majority of the season until Tuchel came in. We were bad for the second part of the whole season, and then we still got top 4. So top 4 isn't decided in August, September, October, November, December, even January. Top 4 isn't decided in February, in my opinion, either. It's about what you do in those crucial games where everybody knows their goals, and it's about who can get their goals. Arsenal City know exactly what they want. We know what we want. It's about who's willing to be consistent enough, and we are, and hopefully we can be. So we'll see. But yeah, go on, Shigz.
To add to that, you know what's kind of giving me confidence? Did you see the interview from Gakpo after the Everton game? And he was saying, and he was saying, "Oh, so what's?" And he goes, "What do you mean? Win all our games?" That's so, and it was like, "What else we want him to say?" And I was like, that mentality right there just shows me that they're in their head, they can go unbeaten for the rest of the season. In their head. So if they believe that, then like Mo has already opened the door to it. Why shouldn't we?
You can see from the Everton game, there is a difference in how they're playing. Like if you can't see that, then I find that a bit mad. Even yesterday, we did concede a few chances, and second half, and after they got the red card, it wasn't as good as the first 20 minutes. But there were still patterns of play. There were still moments in the games that I hadn't seen for a long time, and I keep going back to that second goal. Just football we haven't seen us play in a long time, and I can just see that there's something that's happened that has given this squad a fresh sense of hope. I can see it in the manager, the way he's conducting himself now compared to, say, 3-4 weeks ago. I don't know what, but he just seems a lot more happier. Maybe it's because he's got his squad coming back and that's giving him more optimism. But it was a bit not rude, but a bit sharp with the press and people asking him questions. But now he seems more his normal self. And, if the manager believes we can, and like you said, Shigz, if Gakpo and all the boys think we can do it, then why not? We've been in a situation before where we had to go on a run in 2021 season. Last 10 games.
Phillips and Reece
exactly, with forwards players as well. So we've got the experience now in doing this kind of things. Going on the run where you have to win 8 out of 10 games. And I'm not saying that's what we have to do this time. I don't think it will be, because like Mo says, everyone that's around 4th to whatever, they're there because they've been inconsistent. And, we just need to get a couple more wins back to back. And I think we'll be up there or thereabouts.
And also the just quickly, I've got 2 points. The issues that we face, yes, we have injury issue, but they're different from other clubs where perhaps Tottenham are struggling because they've got key injuries, or Newcastle struggling because they had a few injuries also. Whereas our issue, where one of the core issues as to why we're not playing particularly good, is simply because, like I said, of our application, termination, intensity, etc. But those things importantly, we can rediscover. That's the difference. Injured players, they can't come back suddenly. Whereas with us, the things that make us so good, these are things that we can rediscover, and we're starting to see little signs of those of us rediscovering that. And also, I was gonna quickly touch upon. It's incredible that this is the second time where perhaps we faced a really, really quote unquote shit period on the club, where we had that 2 years ago and we had that now. Periods where it looks really, really bleak and it looks horrible in the press conferences. The players look dejected, etc. And yet Klopp is still able to maintain very, very good. Like the dressing room still seems, the players still seem to. The dressing room, exactly. The dressing room still doing fine as well. And I think the Anfield talk supposed to clear by Henderson talk about Klopp. This is down to the manager at the end of the day. The fact that when it gets horrible, when it gets bleak like this, you have a manager who's still able to rile up these players, because it's easy for players to think like we're doing so much. There's only so much we can do, and they just end up giving up. They start to fall away with the manager's way of playing, and this happens to successful managers. You look at Jose, every club that he goes to, eventually the players start to feel a bit disillusioned. They start to fall out of love with the way he plays, even though he's won everywhere he's gone to. You look at Chelsea season after they fell out of love, even though he won the Premier League a few months ago. Whereas this club, it doesn't seem these players can ever fall out of love with him. There's no way these players can ever not want to play for him, and that's one of the attributes that perhaps are that's a dynamic or an attribute that you can't find in the manager market, where these managers, only certain managers possess this. Maybe like someone like a Pep, even someone like an Arteta to be fair to him. Also, Klopp has this attribute which makes him really, really special that other managers don't have. That these players, no matter what happens, even if it's a 6 months of playing horrible, they can't fall out of him. So I just want to put that on the record about something about that Klopp's really good at doing.
Yeah. And you know what? It's true what you say about the players being for the manager, because inevitably after a few losses and whatever, especially ones at home, there was talk on Twitter and stuff as the manager lost the dressing room, and I think that was a bit excessive. I don't think he'd lost the dressing room. I just think the players went off.
I hold my hands up.
I
thought he had. Sorry to interrupt. Then
no, it's cool.
I thought he had, just because that Wolves game, that's probably the worst I've ever seen us play. Like just so disjointed. And for me, again.
I said the goals we conceded, you could see.
Yeah, the worst, and it just it's like. So I have to, and you know me already, Ben. If I'm think I'm in the wrong, I will say, listen, I hold my hands up. I didn't think he'd be able to turn it around just because of the whole what had to happen at Dortmund, and
I don't think anyone believed that we could turn this season around. I wrote it off because we were that bad for that long, and it was, like you say, as bad as it's been. And I definitely wrote this season off for sure. But you know, it's just crazy, isn't it? What a couple of wins can do. Like, this is what I was saying yesterday as well. The thing is, we've still got gears to go until we're anywhere near our best.
We're nowhere near our final form. We're nowhere near our final form.
No way.
And I hate to give credit to our rivals, but you look at Manchester United, 2 humongous losses at the beginning of the season, 2 losses that could completely derail their season in Brentford and Brighton. And all it takes is they turn around instantly and look at where they are. They're able to compete with Barcelona. They're able to be amongst Man City and Arsenal in terms of being a few points behind. The players that we've got, we know they're quality players. There's no way from 5 months later these players can decline so much individually. Suddenly 10 million pound players. That's impossible. It's attributes that we can't see, attributes that are within themselves that we can't see, about the application, about the determination, about the intensity, about their confidence. These are things that are so crucial to the way we play, because we haven't got a squad like Man City where, for example, if Ake is out of form, Laporte can come in, or if
Diaz,
or Cancelo's out of form, he can get sold. We can't sell Trent, we can't sell Robertson, we can't sell Van Dijk. Those things are not going to happen. We can't. Like say, Grealish is coming into the team now and helping them. Bernardo Silva playing at left back. We haven't got these dynamic solutions within our squad. What we rely on is these players having to find these gears. And thankfully, we have a manager who's able to do that. So no matter how bleak it gets, until for example, where it gets to a point where where our whole season up until April, May is getting derailed. I think it would be irrational to lose confidence in Klopp without giving him a full season, because I feel like we've seen it too often now where we go through a period and he's able to turn it around. So therefore, why should you see this period now and think, oh, he can't turn it around. You have to continue. You have to continue
Fair
to
enough.
look back at what Klopp has done and keep believing. But yeah, but like you touched on, Shigz, that Wolves game, if you 2 goals, Klopp touching it. When you look at their body language, when you look at the thingy,
Yeah.
I can completely empathize with people who think, oh, there's no way a manager can send out these players and within 10 minutes they're playing like that. But then you actually all you have to do is contextualize it and remember this is a Klopp team, this is a Liverpool team. There are intangibles and dynamics that we can't quantify as fans, that we can't see behind the dressing room.
Yeah, facts.
And exactly, but yeah, I'm glad these 2 wins. It's given a sense of confidence that we can't, especially heading into Real Madrid. Like I said, 2 big games in their own rights. Newcastle away, Everton home. Incredible.
Yeah.
Let's get onto that then, mate. That's a great segue. I remember saying before, like, one of the important factors into hitting form is not just to get back in the race for top 4, also Champions League. And Shigz, in terms of a trophy, this is it now. You know, this is all we have. Unlucky for us, it's the only team, well, as well as Atletico Madrid, it's the only team really that stopped us in the Klopp era. So, what are you feeling now, mate? Are you are you more confident after the last 2
okay,
games?
let me put it like this. I'm more confident than I was when we just lost the Wolves, but I've still got my reservation. I'm still hesitant to say that we're going to beat them, just because for one reason, because Atletico Madrid, I'm not worried about them. I think we've got their number now, but for some reason, this Madrid team seems to have our number. I don't know what it is. I can't put a finger on it. It's like they're not. Obviously, they've got just Modric, Vinicius, Benzema. Like they just have a. I can't explain it.
Do you know what it is? And our fans got really annoyed at Ancelotti, but I think he was right, and I actually do agree with him to some extent. He said in an interview after the Champions League final that the reason why they've been so successful with Liverpool is because we're too predictable. I said every time they've played against us, they know how we're going to set up, what we're going to be looking for. And that's why I'm hoping this time we'll do something slightly different. Because, you know, our fans are getting annoyed at him. But he was right. From what I saw, I think the Champions League final just gone, I do think we were the better team on the night.
Yeah, was quality.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, at the end of the day, you've got to put the ball in the back of the net and take your chances. But, yeah, no, I agree with you, mate. This is the only team, really. We've played them twice in finals, lost them both. We played them in the COVID season. I don't really, you know what? I don't really have too many memories from that game. I can't lie.
Let me ask you this then, Ben.
Go on.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick my line. If we beat them, do we win the trophy?
Win the Champions League. Book your hotel, mate.
Yeah.
If we beat Real Madrid, it's ours. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Cool. You heard it first.
Hello, Stefan. How are you doing, mate? Shigz really likes your name because he's a big fan of Stefan.
Yeah.
Listen, mate. If we beat Real Madrid, that is the only team that's going to stop us. I'll say it with my chest.
So number 7 income?
Number 7. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Wow.
Klopp even said, "Book the finals in Istanbul."
Is this Istanbul? Oh, what are we doing? I'm not allowing myself to dream yet. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Mo, what are you saying about Madrid, mate?
It's gonna be such a difficult game, and like I said, it's gonna depend on like, similar to the Newcastle game, but simply how we start the game again.
Yeah.
Real Madrid are a team that come in the game. They never start. Like I watched a few La Liga game season. I watched them last season. They managed to win the La Liga, Super Cup, and Real League games. But they never ever start games off well. They're not able to come into games quickly. So, like I said, like us getting an early goal, us scoring 2, even if we're 2-0 up within 30 minutes, it genuinely means nothing.
We saw it last season, didn't we?
Last season, and even there was a Villarreal game this season they played in the Copa del Rey, and this is what happened. Villarreal go 2-0 up. It's like half time. And they finished the game within 90 minutes, by the way. No extra time, 3-2. They win the game 3-2. So they
just have that winning mentality. That's what it is.
No matter what happens, like regardless of, it could be Benzema could get subbed off, or Akib. No matter what happens, the players on the pitch are going to give it their all. They have an application, a level of intensity that we've, in my opinion, that a gear that we don't find, because people know when we go 2-0 down, we very rarely come back. We I can't remember a game where we've gone 2-0 down in recent memory and we've won the game 3-2. But whereas with this Real Madrid team, they're always consistently able to come back. So in my opinion, it's going to depend so much on the mentality of these players, and if they're able to, for 90 minutes, for 120 minutes, for the two legs, able to constantly give it their all. And Rafa Benitez, he did a segment with Sky Sports after the game. I don't know if people saw about
I was going to mention it.
Exactly, yeah. About you can go and explain it, Shigz, but it was literally about the dangers of Vinicius and Benzema. The fact that if we concede the high quality chances that we did to Newcastle, Alisson can't, and we do, and we don't play, and we play even 10% less, because we did do well against Newcastle. But if we concede even more chances, the game will be far from us. And we're not Real Madrid. If we go 2-0 down, I can't see us winning the tie at all. So it depends. It depends on the mentality. Do we have the capabilities of beating Real Madrid? 1,000,000%, in my opinion. We can definitely beat Real Madrid across two legs. I don't doubt that. But it depends if we're switched on for 90 minutes. And the way Klopp is moving on the touchline, I don't know if he believes these players can be switched on for 120 minutes, because he is I've never seen him this angry on a touchline in a while. And that's because when he sees something, because Klopp in recent, I'm speaking a bit too long now, but just quickly.
No, go on.
No worries. Like Klopp in recent years on touchline, he's become much more muted, a bit subdued, in the sense that he's not as aggressive as touchline. But this season, he's much more animated, and that's because the players on the pitch are not playing how he wants to be playing. He's constantly barking at the touchline. He's got this and this and that. So and that's not a good sign. It means these players aren't switched on. So like I said, these players have to be switched on. But do we have the quality? Do we have the system? Can we be Real Madrid? Yes, we can. And they're not in a good moment also. So hopefully, we'll see.
For me, it's gonna just quickly. I would simply play counter-attacking football. We sit back and you come on to us. That's a bet. That's how I see Liverpool beating Madrid, because we've done the whole. You can't really press Madrid because they've got players like Modric and Camavinga and Tchouaméni who will just play around the press and cruise. I would actually take the underdog route. We're gonna sit back. We're gonna soak up pressure and hit you on the break. Because for me, we don't have the guile to kind of play that through them, because as soon as they pick us apart, you know who the player is I'm most worried about, and people might laugh at me, is Valverde. That's the guy that I'm worried about in that team, because him and Vinicius, they seem to have a way of playing which they're impervious to being pressed. So I know it's a bit of a lazy way to think about it, but let them come on to us and then we take it from there.
I just feel as well, like with the first leg being at Anfield, I don't like that myself. I prefer to bring it back.
You know what? I actually prefer it.
Yeah, because you can try and get off to a good start.
2 years ago, it was the other way around.
Just because Anfield for us in the Champions League has been an extreme safety net. There's no safety net in the second leg. We have to go there and take what we need from there. So you have to be on your mettle. And as much as people will say, that they won't take it for granted. Sometimes we take Anfield for granted. Think, Anfield will get the result. We can't rely on it on this time, which is a good thing for me.
I just feels like that crowd on Tuesday is gonna be
even more because they know
factor.
that we're not coming back there.
Exactly, and it will be a huge factor. And you know, there's been a lot of discussion even from our own fans, and rightfully so. To be fair, I've been in obviously quite a few times this season, and I'll be honest, it has been dead for some of the games. But I know for a Champions League game against Real Madrid, there's no chance it will be dead. Those guys will be, on it. They'll be welcoming the bus. They'll be singing for the whole game. They'll be booing when Madrid after all of those things, and yeah, it will be a big factor for sure. And I think I slightly agree with you, Shigz. Get off to a good start and then go there with something to play for. But yeah, just to answer the question I asked you guys about confidence, I am a bit more confident. I'm always confident in the Champions League. It's our competition. It's our bread and butter. Like, no one scares me in the Champions League. I'll take anybody, like any team in the world, bring them to me. But Stefan has made a great point, and this is what I was visioning as well. I thought Darwin Núñez would be a huge factor in this game. Like, because of his pace alone, I don't think Madrid are blessed with the quickest of fullbacks. I think that I thought he would be immense against them. So that, like he says at the end, let's pray that he's fit. If not, then I can see obviously Jota will come in. And again, like we've said, he was good when he came on yesterday. But that just leads me on finally to the rest of the team. Then Mo, come to you first. What other changes do you see? Because obviously, if Nunes is out, we're assuming Jota will just come in. What else, mate? Can that team that's played Everton and Newcastle, can they go one more time?
Definitely 100%. I think we're glad we played on a Saturday and not like on a Sunday, Wednesday. I prefer this dynamic. We played Saturday and then we played on a Tuesday. I don't mind that, and especially I'm glad that it's not a massive turnaround, because this team, you could tell, because we're relying on momentum right now. The fact that the games are so close to each other is perhaps a good thing. When games are close to each other and not playing well, it's a fantastic thing in my opinion. So I'm glad they can just go again. It's Real Madrid at home. There's no need for 5 days, 6 days rest. They're going to be off for it straight away. And yet, in terms of any other personnel, I'm very satisfied with Gomez and Van Dijk. I don't think Matip should come to this game. I think perhaps sometimes his erratic behavior, it won't be useful against us. I think Gomez is much more composed on the ball.
Yeah.
It's the way I feel like Matip is also good on the ball, and I feel like Gomez is too. But I feel like just because Matip can be a bit too erratic on the ball, he would concede turnovers. And like I said, conceding turnovers against a team that thrives off space and who have killers in their team in Vinicius and Benzema, we would be doomed. So I don't see any other personal change for me personally. I'm happy with the midfield. I'm happy with the defense. I'd be happy for Nunes starting. I think against the right back cover, I think he can cause chaos. But like Shigz touched on, the way you play will be so important. I want to say let's completely go sit back and think and counter attack. But I get why Shigz is saying that, because if we play the way we normally play, with perhaps we have a controlling the ball, there'll be so much space on the pitch. There'll be loads of space on the pitch. And if we can see that much space on the pitch with Vinicius, with Benzema, with Modric and Camavinga and Cruz, you can pick up fantastic passes. Remember, it was the first goal against us in the first leg 2 years back. Remember, it was a ball over the top from
long ball,
Cruz to across Phillips, and this time it might be Van Dijk on the end of yeah, exactly. Yeah. They have elite technicians and elite finishers on the pitch. Therefore,
all over the place.
And giving them spaces is like writing a death note. Therefore,
the French Darwin Nunes.
Nah,
exactly.
Don't diss Benzema like that. Benzema is listen. Benzema is elite. Let's not mess around. That guy is an elite baller. Elite.
He is. He is. Should have won Ballon d'Or though, but there we go.
What did I say about
you did say that.
Yeah, Valverde, another player. He and think about Valverde, the way he plays is also very interesting. He'll end up starting on the right, but what he does is floats in between the lines. He'll float where if Henderson or Fabinho or Stefan are not positionally perfect, he will
take advantage
of that, and it could be dangerous. He'll let's say Henderson overcommits on the right hand side. Valverde will be there and he'll be able to pick up the ball and drive the ball and take and give and exploit more spaces on the pitch. And I think Shigz was going to speak about earlier. Benitez touched on about the fact that our players have to be closer to the opponent players. There was a situation in the last game where Trent wasn't covering a certain space and Van Dijk had to cover him, and then that left another player exposed. So these players,
they'll bomb through.
They have to be mentally perfect. When Man City were mentally perfect for 2 games and 2 minutes cost them the whole time.
Yeah,
they were Pep coached a 6-0 win. and they still lost the game. So regardless, luck has to be on our side, but positionally, mindset, everything has to be perfect, and we win the game in my opinion. So we'll see.
Let's just go around to wrap things up. Let's do predictions, quick fire, no messing about. Go Shigz first.
My heart says 2-1. My head says 1-1.
1-1. Would you take a 1-1?
I would.
You would. Cool. Mo?
I'm saying 2-0. I don't think we can see it in the first leg. I don't think we can see it.
Wow, okay.
Everything I said, I don't think we can see.
Just a quick question: Is Benzema and Vinicius out? Are they fit?
I think they're both fit. I think Benzema slightly, but I think they're both fit.
The doubts that they have, from what I've seen, is Many and Cruz. But again, we've seen this all before. We've heard people are out, and then exactly. It comes to Tuesday morning.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say 2-1. I'm gonna say 2-1.
Klopp could be playing mind games.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2-1.
True. I'm gonna say I actually had 2-0, same as Mo in my head. If the King of Chaos is playing, mate, we're gonna win. It's as simple as that. But
how we're naming him now.
The King of Chaos, mate. But I don't know if he will. I don't think it's. I have to say, I don't think it's mind games with Nunes. He did go down. Shoulder.
As soon as he went down, I was like, "Ooh, okay."
Yeah, so I don't think that is mind games. I do genuinely believe that we won't have him. So I'm going to go Diogo and Mo Salah 2-0. We go to Madrid, and the new Xabi Alonso will be like Xabi Alonso at the Bernabeu, and we'll win, and we'll go through to the what will that be, quarterfinal? So that's what's going to happen. I don't know where this confidence has come from. This is mad, but we're going to run with it. Why not?
And the same confidence you're feeling are the same confidence the players are going to be feeling.
Exactly. And listen, Mo, I was saying this earlier on a space, right? Because people were talking about it and then getting really happy, and then someone comes in and goes, "Just relax." It's like, come on, mate. We've been starved all season. Let us be happy. Let us get a bit excited. You know what I mean? Like, we've had no reason to be excited this season.
As fans, like there's no need for us to be pessimistic. We don't have to be difficult and say, we should be optimistic. Yes, no, of course. Yes, we have to be level-headed. Yes, we have to be rational. Yes, we shouldn't say anything absurd. We shouldn't be, we're gonna storm and win. We're only 11 points behind Arsenal. We can still have a chance in the Premier League. We shouldn't be like that, of course, but we should be optimistic within our own means. And
when something's still in our own hands as well, like, you know what I
mean?
All
things considered, in the situation we're in, we can definitely be rigid, and that's not me being optimistic. That's me being rational. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see, guys, and we'll be here after the game at some point to discuss it. And let's just hope that we will get the win to go to the Bernabeu. And also, guys, if you smash a like on this video, Loris Karius will be man of the match, and Newcastle will win the Cup on Sunday. So, thank you for watching. If you made it to this point, appreciate it, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.